It is the first Subway Series matchup of the 2022 season between the Mets and the Yankees. The Yankees are in their road grays, but they're sleeping in their own beds tonight. My recap, your reactions, coming up next. This is Yankees Game Night. Tough one. How's it going, everybody? Look, I'm not an expert in human psychology, but judging by the live chat comments, I'm guessing it's not going well. This one falls squarely on the shoulders of Jordan Montgomery. Really tough night for him. Another tough night for the Yankees in terms of leaving men on base. Seems to be a common thread over the last couple of weeks at least. In case you missed the pregame news, Giancarlo Stanton is on the injured list with Achilles tendonitis. They're saying 2 to 3 weeks, so we're going to be without Stanton for a bit. We are 1 week from the trade deadline, so things should be heating up as far as transactions go over the next few days. We won't see anything probably until, I would say, Thursday or Friday. And then you'll see more over the weekend. And then, of course, Monday and Tuesday are going to be crazy. But we all thought things were going to be crazy right after the lockout. So who knows with these GMs these days. Tonight, it was all about Game 1 of the Subway Series. Sold-out crowd at Citi Field. Lots of energy in the stadium. And hang on, I usually don't do this. I usually don't put up the comments before the recap. But we're doing it tonight. Nick Santangelo says Buck managed circles around Boone, and that is absolutely 100% correct. There were issues with the managing in this game, but we'll get to it. Wild first inning. One of the more wild first innings that we've seen this year. Yankees get back-to-back home runs by Judge and Rizzo to give them a 2-0 lead to begin. You know, Aaron Judge, he's had a knack for big moments. He homered in the first playoffs that he ever played in, first game against the Twins. He's done well in the postseason, kind of at large. He homered in the All-Star game a couple of years ago. And he seems to come through in these Subway Series matchups. Almost hit one out of Citi Field a couple of years ago, one of the longest home runs in that stadium's history. And tonight, batting second, gives the Yankees a 1-0 lead. 423 feet to the opposite field. That is nothing to shake a stick at. 38th home run of the season for him. I keep saying it. He's going to get to 40 home runs by August.
Pay that man his money.
Next batter was Anthony Rizzo. He went oppo-boppo. 23rd home run of the season for him. But look, the Mets were all over Jordan Montgomery tonight. All over him. 4 hits, 4 runs, and 2 home runs in the bottom half of the first inning. Starling Marte, who might be the most in-shape human being I've ever seen. That guy needs to be on a Wheaties box. For real. Just smoked one over the left field wall, and then Eduardo Escobar hit one even further. We got the donos coming in. Reminder to hold them till after the recap, if you don't mind. Victor Ortiz says, Rizzo swinging 3-0 bases loaded. We'll get there, baby. We'll get there. Appreciate the dono. So Monty never really gets run support, but oftentimes I've noticed when he does get early run support, he gives it away right away. He waits 0 time and just gives it right back. It's gross. He didn't make it out of the 3rd inning tonight. Really tough night for him. 2nd inning, IKF singled to extend his hitting streak to 13 games. Notable to me was the nice base running by Aaron Hicks to go from 1st to 3rd on the single, but also notable, IKF got picked off. What are you doing? You can't get picked off down 2 runs there. I'm sorry. Nice job hitting the ball, but we got to do a better job on the bases. Sloppy baseball in the 3rd inning. Donaldson drilled Francisco Lindor with a throw on a routine ground ball, allowing another run to score. That made it 5-2. Yankees got back an RBI ground out to make it 5-3. LeMahieu, a little chopper in the fourth, scored a run. Yankees actually loaded the bases with 2 outs, and then Rizzo swung at a 3-0 pitch. That was what was just referenced by Mr. Ortiz there, and came up just short. It was deep left center field, probably, I'd say, 3 or 4 feet from the wall. But, on 3-0, I mean, you can't blame the guy. He hit it 400 feet, right? But I don't know about swinging 3-0 there down. Yankees were all over Taijuan Walker early, but you got to give him credit. He settled down. He pitched out of some jams. I mean, he did a nice job tonight. A couple of positives for the Yankees. Strong outings from Marinaccio, from Jonathan Loaizaga, from Aroldis Chapman. I thought Marinaccio looked great. I thought Loaizaga, he gave up 1 hit, but probably looked better than he has most of the season. And Aroldis Chapman's the best he's looked pretty much all year tonight. So top 8, another interesting move. This was a real head scratcher to me. Yankees pinch hit for IKF, who was 2 for 3 in the game. You got a runner on first base, so I get it. You're down 2, you want to hit a home run. They pinch hit with Joey Gallo against Adam Ottavino. But immediately, because he's smart, Buck Showalter went to Diaz, who he had warming in the bullpen, and it went as expected. Gallo, he struck out, didn't put out much of a fight. I got to say, I wouldn't pinch hit Joey Gallo for Ray Charles. I would rather have Carl the Mannequin hit than Joey Gallo in a big spot. Buck just outmanaged Booney there. So, Boone will probably tell you, we figured he would go to Diaz. Diaz strikes out about like half of the hitters that he faces, and Gallo strikes out about half of the time. You put those things together, he had no chance. No chance. What are you doing? Why do you even play him? You got to wait till the trade deadline, sit his ass on the bench, and wait until his number gets called to go to San Diego or Texas or wherever. Mets got another run in the 8th to make it 6-3, and they hang on to win. All right, we got a couple of more donos here. Combs says the Yankees need a manager to motivate a team in a game like this. So I don't think motivation was the problem. The Yankees looked like they wanted to win. They just got outplayed. They got outplayed and they got outmanaged. But I like your Bart Simpson eating a record there. That was pretty good. Ira Sparrow says not as good on the base paths as earlier this season and still awful with runners in scoring position. Wholeheartedly agree.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah, the base running has taken a step backwards. They looked flawless on the bases earlier this year, but lately it's been a disaster. We got another super dono coming in saying, Ronnie laughed out loud when Gallo came up to pinch hit. Yeah, it was like a laugh track in here too. I couldn't believe that was happening personally. Brian Swan says, Boone on why he pinch hit for Gallo. I just needed to demonstrate to Cashman how much we need Soto. Thought that would be a good spot to do so.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
That's a good comment. That's a high quality comment right there. All right, guys, let's go take a look at the box score. As you can see, Yankees with 9 hits, Mets with 10. So there were hits tonight. There was, balls being put in play. You had opportunities. Yankees still maintain home field advantage in the East. The Astros lost. So, or not East, the home field advantage in the American League. The lead in the East, sorry, I'm having trouble speaking, is dwindling, but still safe at this point. DJ LeMahieu, who's been so red hot, 0 for 5, took the collar. I feel like I gave him the kiss of death on the Subway Series preview. Him and Giancarlo Stanton, I talked about how good DJ's looked, takes the collar, and how Stanton's probably going to be back. That's what we were told. Once again, the Yankees were not even going to give him an MRI. They weren't even going to send him to the MRI tube. He had to request it yesterday. Yankees continue to mismanage injuries. It's been the story for a better part of a decade now. 2 for 4 for Judge. He's hitting .296, 38 home runs. He's got to be on pace for 63 or 64 at this point. I'll let somebody in the comments who's got a bigger brain than me do the math on there, you nerds. Rizzo, 2 for 4 tonight with his 23rd home run. And Torres, Carpenter, and Donaldson all take the collar. We got another dono here. Christian says, let's stop with the Gallo charade. We're not helping his trade value. We're only making it worse. Just bench the guy. Appreciate that. And truer words never spoken. Oh, so Houston is losing again. So they lost yesterday when the Yankees were off. So they, hopefully no blood lost here. Donaldson, we just mentioned 0 for 4. I'm getting kind of tired of watching him flail and bail on every outside pitch this year. He can't handle the slider away. He tries to pull the outside fastball. He tries to lift and separate. That's why you see so many choppers to third base and so many pop-ups. And frankly, a lot more swings and misses than were advertised. Aaron Hicks had a decent night tonight, 2 for 3 with a run scored and a walk. I thought he had some good at-bats. I liked how he choked up and just put the ball right up the middle at one point. Beautiful swing. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa continues to pick up singles. 2 for 3 tonight. Gets pinch hit for by Gallo, who is now 161. That is unreal. Like, I would retire from baseball if I was hitting 161. I would seriously quit. Timothy Kim says, I would honestly trade Gallo straight up for cash at this point. He just needs to be somewhere that's not New York. I think he needs to be in AAA. AAA. I mean, I know he probably doesn't even have options. Probably can't go to AAA. But he's just not getting it done at the big league level. He's not a big league hitter legitimately at this point. Just refusing to make adjustments. Just not going to work out for him, especially in New York. Down to the pitching. Montgomery, of course, really tough night. 2 1/3 innings, 5 runs, 4 of them earned. 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, 2 home runs allowed. His ERA up to 3.50. Someone messaged me on Twitter and said, oh, he's trash. He's trash. Look, he's had a pretty good season, and I'm not going to counter your argument that he gives up leads a lot when he pitches. He doesn't have a lot of leads, but a high percentage of the ones that he gets, he gives up. So he's got to work on that. And, I defend Monty. I like Monty's stuff. But tonight, too many pitches in the middle of the plate. He doesn't throw hard enough to live there. He's got to do better. Marinaccio, 1 2/3 innings, 2 strikeouts. Loizaga, 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 run. 1 strikeout, no runs. Chapman, 1 inning, no hits, no runs, 1 strikeout. Peralta goes an inning with no runs. And Abreu gave up 3 hits and allowed a run, 2 strikeouts. He was throwing pretty hard. We saw 101 from him. But tough night for the Yankees. Joseph Stream says, I'm not giving up my bag of donuts for Joey Gallo. I don't blame you. Mr. Santiago says, Monty is a weak pitcher. Let's go to his baseball savant and settle this via the metrics. He's got good traditional stats. The 3.50 ERA even after tonight isn't bad. And, 3.24 coming in. But, do you trust him in a big spot? I don't know. He doesn't have that ace type stuff. He's definitely more of a back end of the rotation type of pitcher at this point. Occasionally he'll have a big strikeout game like he did against the White Sox last year where he went toe-to-toe with Rendon. Let's take a look. Let's take a look real quick. Jordan Montgomery. So average exit velocity against in the 64th percentile, average hard hit percentage in the 72nd percentile. Those are both well above average. Barrel percentage, he keeps it above average, or he keeps it off the barrel above average. Walk percentage, way above average. Chase rate, way above average. Whiff percentage, 77th percentile. The curve you thought would have more spin because he gets so many swings and misses with it, but it's just the arm angle, really. So, he's just got to do better, frankly. He's just got to do better. My mouse is panicking here. Pamela says, why does every rally start with 1 out? It seems that way, doesn't it? It seems that way. And a final conclusion on Jordan Montgomery as we look at his full-on stats. 110 innings, 91 strikeouts, 1.08 whip. He's a solid pitcher. he's not somebody you want to run out there against a Verlander or, in a game you have to win. But most of the time, he's going to pitch well against the Orioles and the Royals and he'll occasionally get like the Rangers or the White Sox and one of the better hitting teams he'll pitch well against. But, against really good teams, you don't really trust him 100%. He doesn't typically go deep into the game. Jeffrey Ellison with the dono. I appreciate that. T. Wood says, Waldachek, Sears, Wisniewski, and Heel, young stud pitchers. Well, Heel is actually out for the season. He's having Tommy John surgery. Actually, he had Tommy John surgery. And Yoelva says, Monty won't start for us in the playoffs. He's not worried. But, remember, Monty did start for us in the playoffs a couple of years ago against the Rays. I thought he actually pitched pretty well in that series. Didn't go deep into the game. Again, he's a guy, he doesn't throw hard enough to make mistakes over the middle of the plate. He's got to be precise with his location, and he just hasn't been. So, tough night. Tough night. All right. James Augustine says, definitely time for some changes. I really think we need to sort of arrest this backward slide into the abyss that we're beginning here. You can see it coming. You can see the wheels kind of coming off. The team looks so great for so many months. And now you can see that, things are just kind of slowly deteriorating. The bullpen falling apart, the base running getting worse. You want better performances on a night in, night out basis. I think it might be time to pick up somebody just to inject some energy, some life into the team, if little else. Darren says, trade Donaldson, Gallo, and Torres. Bums. Appreciate it. Oh, well, Torres is actually having a pretty good year. He's got 3 wins above replacement. I think he's been one of the best second basemen in the American League. He's looked good on defense. He was DHing tonight. Donaldson, you're going to have a tough time finding somebody to take him unless, you want to eat some of that salary. And at least his defense has been on point for most of the season. Gallo, I'm not going to argue with you at all. Bob Gnu says, do you think he was tipping? I don't think he was tipping. I see a lot of times on Twitter and things like that, people will say, oh, he's tipping his pitches or yada, yada, yada. What are you going to say next, right? If you say that somebody's tipping their pitches, that means that you can recognize that they're going to throw a different pitch, or you can recognize the next pitch in their sequence by something they're doing. Follow up with what you think they're doing to tip their pitches. Just saying somebody's tipping their pitches doesn't say anything. I think he was getting hit because he was throwing the ball down the middle and slowly. That's what I think. Steve-O says, can't wait for Herman versus Scherzer tomorrow. Is it confirmed that Scherzer's going tomorrow? Yikes. Look, here's the thing about Domingo Herman. He can be electric. He almost no-hit the Red Sox last year in one of the final games before he got hurt. At times, he looks really good, but I don't have a ton of faith in him. Brian Swan says, I'm still not over Donaldson's Jackie remarks and his subsequent non-apology. Also, he's pushing 40 and still cuts hair like a hipster. Go away. I don't want to read into a guy's mind on his comments there, but I do think his apology there was fairly weak. So I'm going to go ahead and agree with you in there. Mike D says, Yankees are 22-6 in June and barely 500 in July. Does seem like, the wheels aren't falling off yet, but you're hitting a bumpy patch of road. You're getting a real test of what the frame of the vehicle here is made out of. NY Finest 017 says, Andujar got shafted because of Gallo. You're not wrong. He was playing well last year when they called him up. He got hurt. They went out and they got Gallo, and since then he really hasn't had that opportunity to be a starter for any extended amount of time in the major league level. Swinging the bat pretty well at AAA. Pamela Davis says that was a very winnable game.
I hardly agree.
Absolutely, hey.
Yanks Outsider, I like that, says Marinaccio is a dude. Find out what Sears and Schmidt have, and if you like it now, you have a decent bullpen. Sebi will be there soon. Bad start for Monty, and adding an 0 for 8 in running runners in scoring position, you can't win. That's quality comment. Appreciate that. So, tough night. we just got to come back out tomorrow. I projected a split for this series. Gonna need a heck of a start by Domingo Germán. Put a lot of pressure on him to win last time. He didn't have it. Let's just hope that he's, fully available this time. Last time it looked like it was another rehab outing. He just didn't look sharp at all. So, Danny J says, bullpen looks solid tonight. Too many mistakes on the base pass.
I hardly agree.
And Samantha T projecting Germán gives up 4 runs in the first inning tomorrow. Oh, man, we can't have that happen 2 days in a row. We can't have that happen 2 days in a row. All right, guys, we're going to call it a night. This was a tough one. Tune in tomorrow night and, keep an eye on the trade wire. There's going to be some moves happening this week, and I will be here as soon as something does. I appreciate it. I'll do another pregame tomorrow. By the way, let me know what you guys thought of the pregame. I added some new stats screens, to kind of make it a little bit more fun, a little bit more individualized. I don't do a pregame for every game, but for big games, I like to do it. Just kind of mix it up a little bit. It's 162 games in a season, so, I try and vary the content. A lot of post games. Everybody loves the post games. I'll do, a couple of pre-games a week usually. And we've got some announcements coming soon as far as the audio version of the podcast is concerned. Just trying to seal the deal there, and then we're going to have some fun. So more content coming your way. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow.